so happy it's fall now, y'all. Woo, the weather feels so good outside. It's just like cool, chill. Cause summers here in Korea be like super hot. So I got my little fall attire on. I can't wait for Halloween, even though with COVID, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm super excited. So yeah. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Kiya Boyd. Welcome back to my channel. Nice to see you all again. Hi. So thanks so much for all of you that have continued to stick with me on my channel, even when I upload some videos that are frankly kind of honest. But yeah, thanks so much for sticking with me all the way up until now. And for those who are new, thank you for subscribing to me. Hi, hello, hi guys. Those who are not subscribed, please don't forget to push that subscribe button right now. Do it before I get into my videos so then, you know, you can relieve some of that anxiety off of me. Thanks. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, because I post a lot of little sneak peeks and stuff at my projects and a little bit of my work and things that are upcoming for me. So don't forget to follow me on there because it's a lot of good stuff there. And I go live sometimes and we can just talk, you know? So I wanted to make this video about the common misconceptions people have of Korean people, because with K-pop being so big these days and Korea is just pretty much on the map now because, you know, let's just say 5 years back, it wasn't really like on the map as it is now. BTS, oh my God, they've driven the world crazy. I love BTS, but I don't love them as much as y'all love them, okay? Y'all BTS stands on another level. I ain't on that level. I'm like here, y'all like there, okay? Still love them though. And before anybody asks me, you know, who my bias is, because I know y'all gonna ask me that, I'm always stuck between RM and Jungkook. Like, that's just what it is. It's just between those two. Don't know, I can't pick. That's OMV. Just don't ask me. So we gonna hop right into this video, okay? Let's go over the common misconceptions that people have about Korean people, because there are so many, and because K-pop has really brainwashed a lot of people who don't live here. You wouldn't really know unless you like live in a town that's populated with a lot of Korean people, or you don't live in Korea. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm also kind of like debunking these misconceptions because I don't want people to have this unrealistic view of what Korean people might be like or what Korea is potentially like, you know? I just don't want to have any misconceptions. I want y'all to know the real deal. And it's not a hate video. It's not like me exposing anyone. It's just me being realistic, and I want y'all to know Korean people, you know, just because of K-pop people are not gods. They're not like, I don't know, some mystical beings. They are regular people just like you and I. Yeah, I'm about to kind of talk about that. So one of the misconceptions I'm gonna go over is appearance-wise, because yeah, I was one of those people who lived in America at a time where I was like heavily interested in K-pop and stuff like that. And I'd never been to Korea before, never been out of the country besides Canada, but we don't count Canada because that's like America North. I didn't really know what Korean people like looked like as a whole. Like I just knew from videos of K-pop and stuff like that, or heavily filtered Instagram photos, snow apps, and the different applications that kind of make your head look like it's a pizza and then your eyes look about as big as aliens. You know, that's not to say everybody, but a lot of people do that. And it's like, I don't know, it's just gotten so crazy over the years how much people use these apps and different things like that. And then you just have this misconception of what you think these people look like. And even like as a foreigner here, there's like foreigners that get here and then they start using all this stuff, and it's crazy, man. It really be morphing people into whole new people. Wait, I know a lot of people think that like, oh, Korean people are so skinny and this and this and that. I thought the same thing, and I honestly had some insecurities, which is really weird because I'm skinny myself, but I had a lot of insecurities before I came to Korea because I was like, oh my goodness, I heard Korean people are so skinny. I'm not gonna fit into this culture. This is gonna be so weird. I'm gonna be fat there. First of all, when I came here, like my first day in Korea, I was like so nervous to like leave the airport and just kind of look around. Now, it is true that Korean people like living in Korea are smaller than the average American, because Americans do tend to be on the like bigger side. And with the whole like body positivity wave going on and kind of like no fat shaming and stuff like that, it's definitely more, you know, acceptable to see like bigger being the average in America, which is fine because I'm all for body positivity. Skinny, you know, bigger, thick, whatever you want to call it. Slim, thick. I feel like I'm on a slim, thick side because I'm skinny, but then I got like the little assets where they need to be, so I'm good. But yeah, Korean people are just like average as far as like size goes. In fact, I felt like when I was here years ago, I was even skinnier than a lot of people I would see walking around, which is kind of weird that I could say something like that, but that's what it was for me. So it's like super interesting to like kind of observe and see that I'm not really really that different from what I thought this image, you know, was supposed to be. It's just like, if you get here, you just gonna feel normal. Like if you're honestly like super obese, you might feel a little out of place. Like when it comes to Korean people, they gonna let you know you a little bit. They don't really be sugarcoating that. Don't worry about your size or your weight. Korean people are pretty normal as far as like when it comes to weight. Some might be super skinny, some might be skinnier than others, and you know, that's just the way it is. That's just life. But I don't think it's worth the comparison. Like when you come here, if you come here, you don't need to compare yourself to like, you know, Korean people, let alone anybody. Like just love the skin you in. I embraced my skinniness. It is what it is now, so I don't care. And I'm gonna jump on that with height. So when it comes to Koreans, I feel like Koreans are like on the taller side of, you know, the Asians in Asia. So Korean people are average height to me. Sometimes they're a little smaller. They're not like super duper small, like miniature people, okay? But I've noticed that because my height, what am I, like 5'6", who knows? I've noticed that I'm taller than a lot of the boys here, you know, just the ones that I've encountered like walking on the street and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people who are taller than me. There's a lot of tall girls here, man. Like, and when I say tall, they're my height or a little bit, you know, like taller than I am. So that's like super interesting. But as far as like dudes and stuff go, if you like over 5'5", not 5'5", but like if you like, yeah, if you're around my height, you probably gonna notice that people, like the guys are either like your height or maybe a little taller. And there's like super tall guys, or there's just like tall guys, and you know, it's not hard to like, you know, find these people. It's just like you're not gonna see on the street like 26-foot dudes out of like everybody else. You're probably gonna see a few here and there, but like, you know, just varies. Another misconception is when people think that Korean people are shy. I feel like that's a misconception in a way, because I feel like if you were to come here and you really needed help with something, or you just kind of look like you lost, Korean people do tend to like help out and to kind of approach you and talk to you if you just look like that lost foreigner, or if you ask them a question or things like that. What I think people mean when they say Korean people are shy is usually when it comes to like their English. Korean people are generally shy when it comes to like, you know, meeting people and like their culture, but I find that Korean people, once you know, approach them or you talk to them, or if you even speak Korean, they don't tend to be shy anymore. I feel like that shyness only applies necessarily for like dating or like meeting new people for the first time type of stuff, but I don't really think that Korean people are shy. I just think that they're more quiet kept, and I feel like when you think of shy, you think of like introverted people and stuff like that. Like that's not Korean people at all. A lot of Korean people like to go out and socialize and meet new people. I mean, if it's concerning like people that they work with, or even if they're trying to practice a language, like it's like that. But to have this conception that Korean people are all just like shy and stuff like that, I don't believe that to necessarily be true. The next misconception, I got a bone to pick with this one. This is the white skin misconception, because when people think of Korean people, they think Korean people have like this white skin, they're super pale and all this other stuff. No, that's not all Korean people. A lot of the times when it comes to like TV and stuff like that, they like use filters and stuff like that on TV shows, and they use super white makeup. They do a lot of like BB cream and stuff like that to kind of give that appearance of like a super pale white look. But in real life, I see a lot of Korean people that are like even darker than like white people. Just like a little off. If they're not wearing makeup, or even if they are, like you could just tell their skin color. Korean people don't necessarily have like super white crystalline skin. I feel like it's just like normal skin. I don't think it's like super pale, but I think that with the makeup, filters, all this other stuff, it does give off that appearance to everybody, but that is not how people look. I've even seen some Korean people with like my type of skin tone. This is interesting. And I actually think like the skin on Korean people is like, I think it's beautiful. Like their natural skin color. Instead of doing like the pasty type of whitish skin type of look, I think they have really good skin. Like, first of all, these people here take care of their skin so well with like the glass skin. I really admire their skincare routines, and I've learned so much from Korean people on how to take care of my skin and kind of improve the way everything looks when it comes to like appearance. So I just need people to get that misconception out of their head too, because when I was back in America, I thought the same thing. I thought Korean people were gonna be super pale and it was gonna be really standoutish for me. I already stand out anyways because I'm black, but like my skin color wise, I thought I was gonna stand out like a lot, but I don't really think I stand out as much as I thought I would. I'll just say that. Next thing I wanna get into is the conservative culture. So a lot of people have this misconception that Korea is just like completely conservative and like this is how things go and da da da. When I don't think that that's true as well. When I think of Korea's conservative culture, I think of the churches here. And I think people say that because of like how certain things aren't openly talked about, or how it, you know, dating, like it goes really fast, but like the intimacy goes very slow and it just builds up. I feel like with the younger generation, things are definitely so different. And when people say Korea has like a conservative culture, they do in a way, but not really. Not how it used to be. Not by a long shot. Like I said, times are changing, so it's not like that is really a thing anymore. The churches do hold a lot of power in Korea, like crazy amount of power. But as far as conservative culture goes, I really think that that's more so like a front for how everybody sees Korean people. But to be honest, I feel like they're just normal as far as the way that they think. Like, it's just Korea tries to give off this image of a conservative culture, but I don't really think that that is what it really is. I feel like it's just normal. That's just something that, you know, is used as some kind of like innocent trope, but it's Korea just a regular country, just regular in that way, I should say. I'm gonna make this misconception real brief. Everybody don't look like K-pop idols. Everybody don't look like actors, actresses, da da da. There you go, misconception right there. Everybody don't look like that. A lot of people get plastic surgery or something done, even when they're in like high school. This is a misconception that people just was born here looking beautiful, and it's not just how it goes. Of course, a lot of people here were just like naturally like gorgeous, or even if they were like surgically enhanced or got some type of work done, they still look pretty darn good. But don't be fooled by like what is portrayed in the media, because everybody don't look like no freaking like rock star. Come on now. Another misconception is that Korean people are very sincere and upfront, and I say that this is a misconception because a lot of people don't like confrontation. Like, Korean people don't really like confrontation. So instead of facing confrontation, they'd rather just block you or ghost you. Those are two of the solutions that people have come to. And I've learned that lesson the hard way, even with like Korean friends that I've had, to where it would just be like, you know, they could just ghost you just because they didn't like that you said you don't like corn on your pizza. Like, it could just be the most random reason, but to them it's valid because they don't want to confront you about it. They don't like to deal with that. And even if they do confront you about it, it's in a very passive way, and then they still gonna ghost you or block. So I feel like when people make videos talking about Korean people are very honest in that direction when it comes to like, you know, if you a little on the bigger side, they will say, oh, you fat, you need to lose weight. Or they'll say you got a pimple on your face, or oh, you wearing a wig, this type of thing. Like, Korean people are honest when it comes to that. And I feel like that's more so of an appearance thing, but not when it comes to how they really feel. Even if we're gonna get like political here, when it comes to like politics and stuff like that, a lot of them don't necessarily voice their opinions on how they really feel about candidates or politics here in general. They just kind of go with whatever the internet like says. Pretty much like if the internet agrees on a certain candidate, or if people are swayed by, you know, some opinion that they've read, then they go with that. That's just it. Even if they think differently and have their own opinions, they still sway and follow with the crowd because it's much easier, I think, instead of getting into some confrontation or being looked at as like weird or different. So that's definitely that. Not all Korean people are the same. Obviously, you know this, but I feel like that's a misconception too, because a lot of people make videos talking about how Korean people dress, talk, think, eat, da da da. And it's like all kind of like similar or exactly the same, but I don't think that it is always the same, because there's a lot of people, the younger generation, who have their own mind still. And a lot of them are just kind of like, I like being different, or I like not following with the crowd. They don't post about it on social media because of course they don't want to get talked about or be looked at as like a pariah, but a lot of them got their own minds and got their own stuff to them, you know, their own identities. And the very last misconception I'm gonna say is Korean people and racism. Now, a lot of people like to have their opinion on this. Obviously, if you're a minority, then you more so lean to the side of Korean people being racist. And if you're not a minority, you'd be like, oh, Korean, you're just a foreigner in their country. But I feel like that's a misconception because I don't really think Korean people as a whole, Korean people as a race is racist. I don't think everybody thinks like that. Obviously, I'm not speaking for the older generation. A lot of them do be like feeling some type of way. They do be kind of racist. And that's okay because they're not gonna live forever, so a thought for you. But when it comes to like the younger generation, there are a lot of racist people, there are a lot of non-racist people, but I don't classify Korean people as racist as a whole. Of course, with the Sam Ochiri incident, that did bring out a lot of ugly things about what some Korean people think in their minds and how Korean people feel about like blackface and stuff like that, and things that they don't really know too much about. But I'm not gonna get into that. That's a whole new topic, and I swear I'll like be talking on that forever. But I don't think that all Korean people are racist, and I'm not capping for them because I don't care. I'm just saying that a lot of times before you come to Korea, I had that thought where I thought that, you know, some bad things were gonna happen to me being back in America because, you know, I just assumed, oh, Korean people are racist because there's not a lot of people that look like me that live there. I don't know. I just had this misconception. And then I got here and everything was okay. And I was looking around like it wasn't what I thought it was. So that's pretty much it. This was pretty basic stuff, but I still feel like a lot of people don't necessarily know this unless you live here. So I just kind of wanted to give out that information, and I hope that helps some of you that are planning to come to Korea, and for those who just want wanted to know more about Korean people in general because I live around Korean people. So that's it for my video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts. Let me know what you think is a common misconception about Korean people, or if you have any, thoughts about Korean people that I could later disprove. Let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Push that subscribe button right now. Also push the bell so you can get notifications from me. Thank you so much for watching this far into this video. If you're watching this, thank you. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Instagram is the best way to catch up with me in my life, to see little sneak peeks of things that I'm doing, little work that I'm putting in, my photo shoots if I decide to upload them or whatever. And I don't mean DM, because I have gotten a lot of DMs, and I'm sorry that if I can't get back to you in the adequate amount of time, because if I don't get back to you, it just automatically deletes. So I'm sorry if I didn't answer your DM, but hopefully, you don't have any like life or death type of questions. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I'm so happy I can be comfortable with y'all and just talk how I want to. That's the end of my video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.